Hey guys, I want to take a minute and just say thanks for the comments and stuff that you guys are putting on the videos. A lot of this stuff kind of allows us to do feedback back and forth, both positive and negative comments, because it allows us to kind of go back and forth and dialogue and explain some things. Understand that the way that this communication thing works in video is that I'm simply putting out information, whereas if we were in a class type setting and you were to respond with a comment, I can respond immediately. So I'm trying to do some of that now. One of the comments that I got on an old video, probably a year or so ago, I just saw the comment recently though, it was on a Costco after action analysis that we did. And one of the comments was, it's easy to kind of look at the video and say, I would have done this, and I think the phrase that the individual used was, there's a lot of armchair quarterbacking going on here. Keep in mind that there's a difference between armchair quarterbacking and Monday morning quarterbacking. The difference is, basically, in the armchair quarterbacking, you're talking about a non-player, a individual who is not actively engaged in such activities, sitting in his chair, watching others do the act, and then saying, well, they should have done it this way, or I would have done it this way, and so on and so forth. That's armchair quarterbacking. You're talking about somebody with no experience, no knowledge, no anything, who does not actively participate. In the case of maybe Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's that guy with the tap-out t-shirt who's sitting over on the wall, and he's looking on saying, well, I would just punch him in the face right there. Or that UFC wannabe, who's sitting there and he's watching the UFC and he doesn't even train, and he's saying, well, I would have just done this. Absolutely correct. There is a lot of armchair quarterbacking going on, particularly in the realms of combatives, but in security in general. Especially right now with everything that's going on with our administration, government, stuff like that. You do have a lot of people saying, well, I would have just done this. But there is a difference between that and Monday morning quarterbacking. Now, Monday morning quarterbacking, that phrase basically comes from games being played on Sunday, and then on Monday they look back at the video and they basically go through it and they say, okay, what did we do good and what did we do bad? Now, we refer to this kind of in the tactical training community as an after action report, or an AAR. Basically, this is not the same thing as armchair quarterbacking. This is not me sitting here as a non-participant saying, well, I would have just done this, as I sit down on the couch and eat my Cheetos. This is me saying, I've either been in that situation or similar type situations, or at very least I'm willing to participate in some level of training to verify and vet out. It's the idea of the mindset that says that I'm a participant in the action and I want to stop and look at that situation, or a phrase that we sometimes use is hot wash that situation, where I basically look at what it is that occurred and I analyze it objectively, not looking at it saying I woulda. No, it's looking at it and analyzing it and saying, what went good in this situation that I can replicate in my life, that I can incorporate into my training, and what went bad in that situation that I can make sure that I implement those corrections in my training regime so that I'm not mimicking those issues. There is not a law enforcement department, there is not a military unit, there is not a sports team of any kind whatsoever that does not use Monday morning quarterbacking, that does not use after action reports to basically review not just their own activities, but others' activities as well, to say, this is what they did good, we want to keep this, or we want to implement this into our training. And this is what they did bad, we need to guard ourselves to make sure that we don't make that mistake. Over and over again in the book of Proverbs, it talks about how the fool refuses instruction, how he pushes away. So guard against that mindset. Guard against the idea of basically becoming critical of other analysis. Okay? Analysis is not the problem. Armchair quarterbacking from non-participants is 100% absolutely the problem. But once you become a participant, you're no longer a armchair quarterback. Now you're a Monday morning quarterback, if that makes any sense to you. So I wanted to kind of flush that out. I hope that makes sense to you guys. You guys out there, I appreciate the comments. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever it is that YouTube does. They're demonetizing this stuff anyway, so I don't really care. But I hope you get something out of this, all right? Train hard.